Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yay! You guys, I apologize in advance for my mini hiatus. I have been having some people that have asked, where are the videos? Where are the videos? But I apologize. My birthday was July 11th, so you know I had to throw them titties in a second, girl. Throw them titties in a second, girl. Throw that ass in a But I'm back now. Look. So when I left you guys, time goes by quick, man. Y'all better be appreciative of it. Better celebrate. You know, if you got anything out here that you want to do, I'm here to tell you. You better get your ass to it. Time don't wait for anyone. You hear what I'm saying? If you fearful about what anyone has to say, because I've been hearing this a lot. You know, like you hear it all the time. It doesn't really resonate until the more you hear it, the more it starts like becoming receptive. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, you still out here fearful of what people have to say. I'm here to tell you. If you fearful of what they have to say now, you're going to be fearful of what people have to say for the rest of your life, man. And I'm here to tell you what my pops, it's been a privilege for me to have been raised by my pops, right? Sorry. It's been a privilege for me to be raised by my pops because my pops is a philosopher. And so like the comedic effect and all the philosophing and all of that nature that makes me who I am, the vast majority of my personality comes from my father. My father has always told me, look, you ain't got time to be worried about what anyone thinks. If they think negatively about you now, they're going to think negatively about you in the future. He said, that ain't how none of that works. See, you ain't got time to give a shit because you working. You're working, you're going to school, you're advancing yourself, and you continuing your paper. The best revenge against anyone and anything will always be your retention of your knowledge. It is never your paper. You want to retain something and be possessed of something, be in possession of something that no one can ever take away from you. They can always take your paper. They can never take your shit about what people have. You better fuck it and throw your two boots in the bucket. If you got anything that you want to do out here, now is the time of the essence to go ahead and get whatever you need to get done. Can't nobody do anything worse than you than Satan has already tried, baby. So you ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Get rid of the people out of your circle who do not rep for you. It's a problem out here in these streets. Isn't that what y'all say? These streets. Notice that people continuously surround themselves with people that are not like them. And so when I pointed out, you know, sometimes people have to find things out for themselves. But I'm that type of person. I've always been that type of person where if I see you branching out and you derailing and you have a potential to fall off a cliff, because you're not knowledgeable of it, whether it be from your overall experiences, whether it be because you haven't lived as long, you know, anything, any way, shape, form, whatever the case or scenario may be. There's a lot of people out here that will not mind seeing you fall to your demise. But when you have someone out here that's rooting for you, I love for people to be successful, man. I feed off of it. That's part of my personality. That's my trait coming from my creator. I am a branch. I'm an overall specimen from my creator. I am of the most high creator. I want to see everyone out here do good. When I'm trying to tell you about the people that you continuously surround yourself with, everyone wants to see you do good. Everyone loves to see everyone do. I want you to do better than them. See, that's the thing. See, that's where you have a conflict with no resolution in sight. Especially if they're the ones that taught you what you know today, and you took it out, whether it be your personality or etc., and you branched out and you made it into your own way, shape, or form, and you progressed. All you needed was that catalyst to progress. These people, they sit out here and they look. They sit and they pray for people's downfall, and I'm sitting back being very observant. These people gravitate to you, whether you acknowledge it or not, because they see something in you that is a direct reflection of what they see when they look at themselves. Meaning, if you attract fuck hoes, bald-headed hoes, If you attract niggas, I'm trying to tell you that they overall attraction to you is because you remind them of themselves. The people that you keep closest to you will always continuously forewarn your enemy of your overall progression. It just so happens that that person that's right there may have been your biggest threat all this time. You have to be attentive of that. If you're attracting these people, it's because it's something about you that is like them, or else you wouldn't hang around them. Anyone that's not like me. If you don't want shit out of life, if you don't want shit, you ain't about shit, you don't desire shit, it's dookie. Dookie equates to shit. It don't matter how you mix it. You could put it in a beef stew. Put a tortilla on that bitch. A taco. Still has the texture, the residue of dookie. It don't matter how you mix it, it's still dookie. There's some people out here that don't like shit. They don't like dookie. You attracting shit. But I'm gonna tell you from experience. I was the biggest hoe in the land. I ran these hoes out here. It ain't nothing to be proud of. It's just it didn't benefit me while I was doing it. That's why people ask me why you don't do the things that you used to do. You don't hang around the people that you used to hang around with. It didn't work when I was doing it back then. That's why I'm not doing it now. If it didn't work while I was doing it then, that should constitute of what I used to do. I don't do it anymore. It didn't benefit me. That's why I used to do it. Bitch, you gotta let go. There are ways of doing anything. You know what I'm saying? You just take from your experiences. If you're not learning from it, that's like psychopath tendencies, right? If you're not learning from it, you're not progressing from it. I don't understand why people continuously do the same things. Being a hoe, there's better ways. I want a doctor. Well, there's two places that doctors frequent often. Institutions, whether it be universities, they're going to teach other doctors, they're going into the pre-med, whatever the case may be. They're probably at their own practice, or they're probably at a hospital setting. So watch this. What's one of the ways in which you can get into the actual site of an actual doctor? You take your ass to school. You go to school. If you want a doctor, start off in nursing. Shit, start off at nursing, progress with that, achieve that, and then have that motherfucker pay for you to go to school. Shit, you both gonna be doctors. Win-win, clank, clank. You see how that work? Be in the site, if that makes sense. Am I making sense? You have to be in that realm to where that person that you trying to attract. Because don't nobody want no dumb hoe. When I was, if you was a hoe, you kept that down low. You know, if you was tickling the balls, you was getting them nutsack, you kept that to yourself. If you was if you had a side piece, or you was a side piece, chicken and wing, Popeyes type style, you kept that to yourself. If you was a stripper, you kept that to yourself. If you was gay, I like dick too. You think that since you don't care that I like ding-a-ling, what the hell makes you think that I care that you liked it too? You kept that to yourself. The things in which we grew up with, we were accustomed to, you know, you kept it on the wraps. It's a term of endearment now. You ask some of these children, what do you wish children out here? Ask them. Ask them. Build a hypothesis with an educated guess on any formatting, any settings of life. And then base and build your thesis off of it. I'm telling you, once you ask some of these children, what is it that you aspire to be? A lot of these children say they want to be strippers. A lot of them say they want to be rappers. I'm telling you, I cannot make this up. Hey, some of these children out here, I feel sorry for you, baby. I got into the midst. If you do not go retrograde into the past and fix your past trials and tribulations, I'm trying to help anyone who wants to be receptive of the information and knowledge at hand. And so that's what makes me, I'm honored in a sense, because you got to understand, for the people that know me or think you know me, I tell you different facets about my life. If I didn't tell you, it probably means I didn't want you to know. But my willingness to actually tell is just like, hey, like I see, like, man, if y'all met some of these parents out here, you'd be like, And then the ones that talk like they text, the ones that's going out here with their britches halfway hanging off they booty, I don't know. Things are different. My ancestors refused. They fought to refrain from being referred to as niggas. They fought to refrain from people calling them bitches and hoes. And they fought for their booties. Now, shit, it's a term of endearment. And there's booty holes everywhere you look around. There's assholes all in the air. It's just different, you guys. It's different. Like I said, it's therapeutic. It comes out to be therapeutic for them as well, because it's a gateway. It's an outlet for them to be expressionable people. And once they start coming over, eating all my goddamn snacks, just we are able to communicate on various levels, because everyone's perception of their life is different. It differs from one person to the next. And so when you start to piece different stories, different perceptions together, you could see the expressions on their face. I never interact with them without their parent or a guardian, in a sense, or overall guardian. Huge Michael Jackson fan, baby. I mean, shit, you remember the time? Hell yeah, I do, bitch. And I know I don't want to be surrounded by nobody else's children that ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? Story, the things in which we go over, like the conversation topics that we have, it's just, this is my way of just like introducing it to you, the way you can actually be attentive of what children are actually saying, like actually like what they're thinking and their biggest fears, their biggest concerns, and I'm just trying to make sure that if there's anything that I can do within my scope of knowledge, within my scope of actually caring, that I'm able to actually get together a group of children who don't have an outlet, don't have an overall look of life, if that makes sense, so that we can get into their heads and see what they know. I want to know who you hanging out with. I want your parents to know who you hanging out with, because that's a representation of who you are. That's your character. That's your overall personality. If you want to, like I previously said, if you want to find out more in depth of how a person is and who a person overall is behind closed doors, get with their friends, get with their family, see who they're mixing with and mingling in with. You'll start to learn a lot about them. And so one of the key things that I want to be taken from this video is every time you step outside of your sanctuary, your household, whether it be a home that you've been hoeing at, whether it be your trap house, whether it be your mammy house or your pappy house, whomever's household that you decide that you want to step out of that day, you are in direct representation. Listen, you become direct representation of not only your ancestors, your parents, as well as your siblings, your family members, your educators, your anyone that has taken that village, that takes part into the upbringing of said child. Anytime you go outside of your household, you are in direct representation of them. It's not just you at that moment. So it's imperative that we watch the way that we talk to people. We watch the way that we treat one another. It's a hindership when it comes to the outlet and the expression of these children. It's hindering them. You going, this is a true story. You used to laugh. Like you watch little white kids talking to their parents and disrespecting their parents, and you see your mother look at you while you looking at her. Be like, you see the way that white child over there is talking to their parent? I want you to do it. I want you to do it. I want you to try it. I want to see you do it. It's the Staple Singers all over again. Bitch, do it again. Do it. Bitch, do it again. I dare you. I dare you. Do it again. Oh, these children wilding out. Now all these children are wilding out. Bitch, I had to bring a belt. Look, you ain't got to worry about bringing a belt to any of these children nowadays. You might need to bring one of them goddamn decimals. Shit. These children. That's why you got to be careful. and the ways in which you move. Your words become your whole outlook. Now, spells, and it comes from the ancient Egyptian civilization that's trying to tell you that the words in which you convey, you translate, they are actual spells. This music, or what the hell y'all are listening to? Shit, what the hell is this? This little boy had told, he was singing some kind of song that goes, I got murder on my mind. You got murder on your mind? If you ever meet a person that pleads to be mentally insane, you better play like you mentally insane too, bitch. You better get you some goddamn paperwork. You better go to a psychologist. Psychologist is the best person to talk to, but that psychiatrist can prescribe that med. You hear what I'm saying? You better get you a paper trail. In this world that we live in now, I'm not even trying to be funny. Y'all better have a paper trail. If that motherfucker want to plead mental health and he crazy, bitch, I'm crazy. I'm going to plead crazy too. How about that? It's in that music that y'all are listening to. It's in that music. It has always been in your music. You have the only genre in the black community. You have the only genre of music that is disparaging and belittling. You have the only genre of music. That music is extremely satanic. Man, I don't know what to tell you about that, but I'm gonna let you. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this particular portion of this video. I hope and pray that you guys actually took something from it. I'm gonna start telling stories after stories after stories after stories. So just make sure that you subscribe and make sure overall that you're attentive. There's people out here that have stories to tell that resonate throughout time. We have to fix these past trials and tribulations so they can no longer resonate into the future endeavors of not only yourself, but your children who are looking up to you, the village that partakes in the upbringing of these children. These children are looking up to you. Some people, again, they do not give a damn, but for the people out there that actually do, you know, you are where it starts. There's someone that has to take ownership of the upbringing of these children that we see out here that are deemed problematic. It begins and it resonates from somewhere, but where? We as people, we like to point out the discrepancies amongst each other, but someone has to have played a vital role in the upbringing of these children to cause them to have to act like this and want this attention that they're seeking out here that they're not getting at the household. Your education and your knowledge originates. It begins and it ends in the household. The educators are overall not responsible. The school settings are not responsible. This is what they're exhibiting. It begins and it ends in the household. I got some great videos coming up for you. One in which I'm excited to present. It's the overall decalcification of what's called a pineal gland. Now, I can only speak for things I've been through. Now, for the nurses out there or the pre-meds, the doctors out here, there's one thing that has resonated in common. When you go into an anatomy and physiology course setting, we talk about all the glands, all the perimeters, all the vessels, all the arteries. We talk about the vital organs. We go into every depth of the brain, from the hypothalamus, the cerebellum, etc., etc. One of the particular glands located inside of the brain, your third dimension, that we do not talk about in any setting. I've been through 2 nursing schools in East Texas and North Texas, and we skip over what is called the pineal gland, and there is a reasoning for this. I'm going to tell you what that pineal gland, and you might have heard it before, you might have heard it from a lot of people, but I'm willing to challenge you. If you've never activated this actual gland, you can't tell me shit. It's a lot to actually activate this gland. It takes a lot. It's a lot of discipline in which we're not used to seeing in today's time. There is a lot of discipline that it takes to actually activate this said gland. But man, bitch, once you activate that pineal gland, it's like you done snorted all of Peru. You started seeing bullshit out here, and you started seeing who's against you and who's for you. It is a control center of the brain that takes us further, closer. Well, some people it takes further from the Most High. Some people it It drives into the Most High. I'm going to tell you what it does. I'm going to tell you how to activate it from my own experience. And I'm going to tell you overall, the next videos goes into like stop burning sage into your home and what that actually does. A lot of things that we're going to go over and we're going to talk about and try to get onto one accord so that we can come to a basic understanding as to, you know, how we can. I'm going to teach you how to properly pray as well. There's an actual way that you properly pray. It not only goes into the formatting of who you're praying to, actually acknowledging who it is that you're praying to, actually separating out what's actually satanic out here versus what actually brings you closer to the Most High. Because you'll be surprised. There are people that have been reading the same book, you know what I'm talking about, for 50 to 60 years, cannot recite not one scripture. There are symbols as well as imagery out here in which we're completely oblivious to because we lack the knowledge. And I'm going to tell you, and this is free. It is a gift from the Most High. You ain't got to pay for it. You ain't got to sell your soul out for it. You ain't got to hold for it. It is free. It's my retention of my knowledge that I'm passing on to you. So you make sure that you like, you subscribe, and I like to see some comments every now and again. It's free. It's up to you whether you want to listen to it or not. Like anything. But unless you actually experience these things for yourself, you'll never know. You'll never know the gist of it. But I pray to the Most High that you guys, in the name of Yeshua, that you guys have a blessed night. And I just stay tuned. I got some great content coming.